Come on, web browser.
This is R911.
Come on, web browser. It's the dangerous night. Okay. Layouts. Okay, so when we save a binary entity, no, when we load a binary entity, we say base revision, derived revision, and those are going to be manifest at base entity version, and derived revision is manifest dot remote types type index dot revision number base of entity. Okay, something like that. Something like that. Remove types. No, don't remove the types. Cannot cast from a pool to a pointer. Oh, did I not check that in? I didn't check that in. I gotta get out my laptop, people. Mic is way low. It might be where it's positioned because the cleaner showed up and moved it. Is this better? Is this better, or do I have to like Do I have to like start a microphone company? So we now save a binary entity file when we load a level from the text entities, because those of you who were here last night or this morning sometime saw we were doing some packaging and there were like 100,000 files in the package, and a lot of those were entity files, and you don't want to pack entities in separate files for distribution. So I'm doing the thing where we put them together. Okay, so if I go to heroes 1.1, for example, I should also, so we wrote out the entities file, and then the hot loader said, hey, I see a entities file, but we should tell the hot loader not to care about those, because you never want to hot load them. And there we go. Max volume is not usual. Well, I mean, I'm just looking here at my, oh, you know what? It is lower. Like, look, I didn't change anything, but yeah, my beamer is lower. I don't know what to say, guys. Like, literally, this is just Windows being random, because I did not change anything. Let's see if there's like a recording volume. How do I... What happened to the mic? You used to be able to right click here and get microphone. Sound, input, microphone. How do I set? Of course there's no microphone volume here. Advanced sound options. Has nothing to do with the microphone. Look, there's an output volume. They have no concept of an input volume. How many, like, dear Bill Microsoft, can you please just fucking put all the sound things on one place? Where, control panel. Like, remember when they used to just change control panel every time? Instead of just adding more and more stuff. That was terrible. Recording. Properties. Levels. Okay, it's down at 82 again. I don't know why. There we go. Is that better? Like, I literally didn't change anything there. I don't know why that went down. It's just Windows decided. Windows decided. It's a dangerous night. Okay, so we wrote out this entity file. So, whoops, I could show if we go to Sokoban, run tree, data, levels. heroes 1-1. There will be all dot entities. We just saved this out. It's 125K, which is more than I would like, but there's a lot of entities, I guess. And, you know, this is some magic number 4-byte thing, and then the file version 1, and then the type manifest of like what are the version numbers of everything stored in here, and then entity data for every entity in the level. Now, I haven't tried to load this yet. We might not be saving enough data. It might be messed up. I wrote some loading code, but I don't know if the loading code is right. So maybe what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try loading this if it exists. So we can keep booting into. So eventually, I think when we go to ship this to the people, or even to the rest of the team, I think that I think maybe, so we'll either recreate this file every single time you run a level, or we'll like check timestamps of all the entity text files in the folder against this and only recreate it, you know, if one of those is newer. That's a little more precarious. But I kind of don't want to deal with that right now. I could. But I might as well just try and get it loading. So let's go to where do we call load entities from? That is load entities. Where do we call load entities from? Main. That's probably something different though. Okay, so maybe we just do this. Okay, so we do load all entities from dir. All right, so what we could do is the following. If something, right, else we load all entities from dir. Okay, what is the something? Well, okay, so we're going to say, so we have this read entire file. All entities is tprint file name / all dot entities file name. All right. And we read entire file all entities. If file success, then we're going to call load entities, load binary entities. Load binary entities, in which we also make the same file name. We'll fix that if we do it this way. So right now we just want to make sure that we can load. We're almost guaranteed it's not correct. Load binary entities. We just want the dir name, which is actually file name, weirdly. Let's fix that. Load binary entities, their name, and manager. It's exactly the opposite order. Let's fix that. Return success 2050. Okay, let's have this return a bool. Return false. Return false. Return false. Return true. And it's going to fail horribly. Probably. Yep. Yep. No surprise there. But let's see where we got to. Handle exception. My panic array bounds check fail. Attempted index is 177. This okay, so this looks like the type array. That's just my guess based on how long it is. I think we're reading a byte that's what type this entity is supposed to be or something. And we're trying to look that up in the type array. And it's bad news, which maybe means that we desynced, right? Like if you don't read enough bytes from an entity, then you'll be in the wrong place for the next one or something. Let's see, apply diff. Oh no, this is a field index. Okay, never mind what I just said. It probably does mean we're desynced, but this is a field index of an entity. Okay. Where are we at here? Are we, what's our index? One, okay, this literally is the first entity. Sag. What's count? 138. That doesn't seem right to me. Maybe load type manifest is wrong. Let's see. Let's check the version numbers. Okay, magic. We obviously checked magic. Version should be 1. Yeah. So we're fine up to here. The manifest 18 types. We've got a bunch. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. So these are all fine. Except it's not enough types. Guys, we only went up to F to pay respects. We only went up to F to pay respects. Why did we only go up to F? Entity version. Count. What is the entity version? It should be that, right? 18. Base entity version is 18. We make a yucky heap allocated thing. What is count? 62. Wait. Oh, wait, I got... Okay, hold on. I think I saw the entity version 18. Because remember I was saying, oh, there's 18 items. No, there probably were more than 18 items, all right? I probably just was looking at the wrong number. Let's look again. Manifest. Wait. What? No. What? Manifest. Base entity version 0. Remote types a bunch of... What? What is happening, everybody? Hold on. This is probably some x64 bullshit. I've had problems with debugging info here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need you to work on the weekend. Okay, so there are 62. Never mind. Fake news. Why did I just type 18 again? 62. Okay, we went past F. We went all the way to W. That seems pretty good. Local type index 61. Let's just check the last bytes that we read. We're type 61 on entity wind. And if we go to entities, we have wind. Oh no, that's not going to be. Oh, that's the type index 61, which is what we are. It's revision number 1. It doesn't have a version stamp, so we default to 1. And we've got the name. I mean, that looks fine. So we loaded the type manifest, and now we get count. 138. Oh, wait. I assumed that this was Heroes 1-1, but it's not going to be. This is going to be the frickin' particles. If I do manager universe name, it's going to be particles or palette. In-game particles. Okay. This number is probably right. So let's just step in. Entity ID. We can look at this. In hex. That is an entity ID. This is like the system ID. And then it's number 2 within that. Type index. Type index. Local index. Whoops. It's going to be. Come on, bro. We should output some better code for that. Local index. 19. Oh, let's just do E-type. Group. Okay, there are groups in that level that group the entities, the particle entities together. So this looks correct to me. So we make a blank group entity right there. Base revision should be 18. Derived revision, we'll check these. Base revision, 18. Derived revision, I turn the heat on in the apartment. 5. Sounds plausible, but let us go look at the group entities. Entity type group. Version 5. Okay, great. So we're going to apply diff at these versions. Base entity revision, right? We passed in. So this is where it gets a little hinky because we'll see. And we're getting this index again. Why we had that information, but okay. So Okay. So we're going to read 2 bytes into packed, which is list index and field index packed together. Oh, you know what? Bro, I know what this is. I just did this before. Okay, that 177 is actually the length. So if we look at the save binary entity, I was like, oh, I need to call this code that doesn't know doesn't know. So we put a 4-byte length right there after the type index. Okay, hold on. So type index, we get that, we make the thing, we set the revisions. Yeah, we can't apply diff yet. We go length, or let's just say bytes is a U32 get into bytes, and then substring is going to be s, but substring.count equals bytes, because this apply diff wants, it just wants to use the whole string. That's just the way that I wrote it. Maybe that's Sag, but it's how it works. So, and then I forgot that this was on my to-do list to do this. Okay, so we do that. Those 4 bytes tell us how long the thing is, right? And then is there anything else? Maybe, maybe not. Let's not do the x64 since we're having lots of debug info problems. Well, we have another array bounds check fail, potentially in the same place. Let's say bytes. Whoa, okay, we must not be on the first entity anymore then. We got to entity number 2. Oh, because we didn't, okay, hold on. I forgot, I didn't do this right. So I want to go advance s bytes. Forgot to do that. It's a little bit of funniness around the way that we set this up. How's it going, everybody? Hey, we loaded our binary entities from this file. Congratulations. This file and the in-game particles and the, oh, the editor is disabled. I was going to show you the palette level. GG's. I did this today, by the way. It took less than 2 hours total, the saving and loading of the binary entities. To be fair, for the undo system, I already had all the packing of the leaf data types and stuff. I just had to write the outer part. But it's really not that scary. So all these people who say you have to put all your entities in JSON because binary is scary, it's not scary, guys. It is not scary. Well, so now the question is, like I was saying before, do we merely save these out and trust that they're going to work when we export playtests? I don't want to do that because we want to be exercising this code path very heavily because it is what will ship with the game and what will go to playtesters and stuff. And we want to migrate, like, there's this thing about games where as you get closer to release, you want to be running the actual data that your users are going to be running, right? It lets you approximate the experience closer and closer as you get closer to release, right? So what that means in this case is we want to be running binary entities all the time. So I feel like what I'm going to do for now is just always load the text files, save out the binary one, and then load the binary one as the actual entities, which sounds terrible. But it'll exercise that code path. A lot. So I think it's the right thing. And then once we have that going, we could try doing the package again and see how many fewer files it is. Right? So if I go to the package, yeah, I took out entity text and I put in entities. Entities is the binary one, and entity text is the text one, right? Makes sense. But the entity text, there's one per entity, and entity's binary file is every entity in that level. Okay, yeah, you can see how much code this is. I wrote this today. It's, oh, sorry, wrong file. Binary save, it's 120 lines. Again, once I had the leaf stuff there, it wasn't very hard to do. So again, I'll show you. So here's the binary format, right? Where the caret at sign is the way Emacs says 0, because this isn't a hex editor, right? Is there like a hex edit mode? Okay. So this is the binary file. And the text file looks like very different. We'll just grab one of these, right? You know, there's like probably a couple thousand of these in that level. So this is moderately human readable. And so forth. And this is not at all. Okay. So when we load a level, now we're not going to do the thing that we just did. That was just a test to make sure we can round trip the thing. Okay, I think I handled all that. So this thing, we're not going to do this way. We're going to go back to this. And load all entities from dir. we're actually going to take this out and okay. Now, the hairy thing is that then we want to load the binary entities like we've been doing. All right. So we're going to save binary entities. We're going to load binary entities. Now, the trick is this load all entities from dir like creates the entities in the entity manager and registers them there. And I don't think we want to do that. I guess let's only do this. Let's only load the binary entities if we're not in the editor. Okay, that might make this even a little bit more interesting. So the thing is, I don't know. Let's move this out, by the way. Oof. Wait, load light map data. We must be doing that in post load entities. Post load. Wait, how did that even work then when I was loading the binary? It looks like we have light maps here. It doesn't look totally messed up to me. Maybe we don't. Maybe there's no light maps on this level. Couldn't you scan the binary and statically allocate given that? What? Have I tried to update binary entities in files based on changes made to structs without ever storing them as text? The storing as text is an optional thing, right? The reason we do that is for source control. If we didn't have to check things into source control, we would not use the text. But because we have to have people edit files and have those changes integrate cleanly in source control and all that, then during development, the text has to be the authoritative version. Otherwise, it just wouldn't know how to merge anything. if I were to have my ideal text editor, what features would it have? It would not be slow as ass like everybody else's text editor. I don't know. It would also let me edit the text. Like what do you even... This isn't about saving and loading player progress. Save files, no. This is loading the initial state of the level. Rather than register the entities individually, just query the entity count. Yeah, so the problem is you don't have visibility into all the details of how this system works. I'm not saying it's hard to register the entities. I'm saying when I load the text entities, they're already registered, right? But I want a clean load from the binary because that's what we're testing, right? But I'm loading the text entities into this entity manager, right? So like either I load them into a temporary manager and then destroy that one, which I guess is a possibility. Let's try that. And we could maybe do that more cleanly later if we want. But like the entity manager also manages the storage for where the entities live and stuff, right? Let's try that. Let's say there's like two different paths. So if we're editing, we just do that. Otherwise, we do this. We save the binary entities. Okay, so we're going to say dummy is an entity manager. All right. How do we make new entity managers? Do I just new it? I'm not sure if I have to do any, like we're literally not using it for literally anything. Anyway, reset entity manager. And we'll hope that's enough too. Anyway, so we're going to load into dummy and then save those out and load the binary entities into our real manager so that the text entities don't ever hit our actual target entity manager. And that way we're really, we're really testing what it's going to be like to load the binaries. The question is just, what do I need to do? So we say make entity manager here. It has an undo handler. I don't think we need any of this stuff. Let's find out. Whoops. entities. Okay. I need the entities up there as well, so there we go. Did not like that. I'm not too surprised. Undo. Okay, so we're trying to tell the undo system, and we don't have one because we didn't make one. And we don't really want to have to make one. We also don't really want to register the entities. So let's just say don't register, because registering entities involves taking them more seriously. Okay, we might actually need to cut out more things than that, but let's see. Did I put that in the right place, by the way? Do register as false. Okay, what did I do this time? Reset undo when we reset entity manager. Yeah, like, yeah, there's all sorts of things that might be unhappy because we never initialized them and we're trying to uninitialize them. Hey, okay. I don't know which one of these is light maps. Light map data. Anyway, though. Like if I load, okay. Let's, why are we in playtest mode? Did I set this? Okay. Fine. So I want to open this in the editor because the editor just uses the text path and whatever. Okay. So now this is all pretty good. I'm a little bit sus about whether we are correctly loading the light maps. Which one of these? dude, this Hexel mode sucks. It's unacceptable. We have to kill this file. All right. Now, oh geez, set debug mode. So what do those mean? Set debug mode, view panel.debug mode. What does that mean? Okay. Light map is 9. So if I hit control 9, this is supposed, oh, well. Yeah, okay, I see light mapping happening up here. And here. It's maybe not happening down here. Oh, this is definitely light mapping. All right, do I see it here? No, I don't. So I see light mapping here and not here. In fact, well, yeah, like if you look at this wall back here, it's kind of dim. And here it is not kind of dim. So like we're not loading the light map data correctly for these guys in this case. Why? I didn't expect this. That's pretty weird. Let's just see what's going on. I didn't write this light map data load thing. Somebody else did. So I don't really know what it does. So we get the light map name. Oh, shoot. Okay. The problem is this entities array is pointing to the dummy. So we want to say for all entities in manager, load the light map data. And in fact, we don't really want this entities array to get out from here. We do kind of want it here, but like, yeah, I don't know. All right. Did I transfer the entire editor GUI into GetRect already? No, that would be a big project. It would be a big project. Okay. Game version. Hey, look. We have light maps for surezies. And we have light maps for surezies. So guys, those of you who want to be highly regarded professional game programmers, what I just did there was very important. We had a thing that kind of looked like it worked, right? I was like, look, I'm loading it in the editor. I'm loading it in the game. Great. No, the game one was wrong, right? And I knew a way in which it might be wrong because I factored across the light map thing. But all the time, programmers do shit like that, and then they don't really, like, they don't have a clear picture in their mind about how the game's supposed to look, so they don't really, like, try. And they you know, debugging is hard, and people don't like to have problems, so they honestly don't look that hard for any problems they created. And then this pisses the art team off because you're wrecking all their carefully crafted scenes, and they have to have a big argument to try to get you to fix the shit. And like, you need to fix these things before they become problems, right? So That is what we just did. What is the latest released estimate for this game? When coronavirus is over. Well, you know what we get to do now? Something we really haven't done in a long time. Like a month at least. Okay. We're still starting up here. So the Benny test is also going to stress test saving out all these files. So the cleaners put my headphones somewhere and it took me a minute to find them. Also, like, we haven't run a Benny test in like a month, so it's going to load and process a bunch of texture maps that maybe weren't there. Etc. Also, I'm just looking at this for problems because we're about to give the game to a playtester and we want at least some stuff to be... Oh, what level was that? Oh, you know what else I need to do? I need to update the level thumbnails and make sure they get processed. Do I look to get out of early playtests like these? Like, games are just really complicated, all right? So, those levels are just so fucked. What's going on? Oh, it might have been the fade in fog. Let's see. Uh-oh. Is this playtest just hosed? What is going on here? That's pretty weird. We sure do have a lot of fails. I feel like it's too many.
Telling the truth can be bad news.
Telling the truth can be bad news. Telling the truth can be telling the truth can be good news.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Telling the truth is a bad idea.
Telling the truth is a difficult problem.
Telling the truth is a scary.
how about
Telling the
that?
truth
How
is a
about-
scary predicament.
Telling the truth is a bitter herb.
Telling the truth is a dangerous tunnel.
When you get out of that tunnel, you've got
it's
bitter
a black
herbs.
life ahead. Forget herb. I never heard of a hit that had the word herb in it.
Telling the truth is a dangerous
Dangerous.
Telling the truth can be dangerous.
what?
Tell-
Danger. Telling the truth can be danger. Telling the truth can be dangerous.
business.
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Why? 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 Telling the truth can be dangerous business because if yourself,
Because
you
if
don't
you
know why.
Huh?
Well, I'm just giving you what the idea is. Telling the truth can be dangerous business. If you don't know yourself, then you don't know why.
Oh, is that brilliant?
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Honest and popular don't go hand in hand. If you admit that you can play the accordion, no one will hire you in a rock and roll band. But we can't sing our hearts out. And if we're lucky, we'll no neighbors complain.
I need a fast way to see the fastest file. Is it this one? Yep. Got it. It's a lot of fails though. I guess we had 47. And so we have 771 and then 771. Huh. That's weird. I don't know why there's so many fails. We may have to play some of them to figure out why. Anyway, though, these might have broken due to binary entity loading for all I frickin' know. Like maybe I'm not loading something correctly. Okay, so now I want to run another command. But I guess I want to make it better now. Because all I ever do is manually. So we run a thing. It generates this new Nexus shots. You know, last time I did this was like, no, this can't be right. View details, date. It claims March 2021. I've definitely run it many times since then, but maybe just not on this machine. Anyway, these are all the icons for all the levels. Oh, I don't think they're called Nexus shots anymore. I think I shorted to NS Nexus shots. Start dumping Nexus shots. All right, so new Nexus shots. And oh, we just go underscore underscore and then the level name. Now, I don't really want to put them in new Nexus shots. I want to put them in data. Is it in bitmaps? Nexus shots. So I want to put them directly here. But then we're going to want another command that like runs on these. Okay. Things to do to update your game data before running this packaging. Run a full game Benny test with Control B. Optional, generate new Nexus shots with the Nexus shots console command. This will this will check in new bitmaps to source control for everyone. So only do it if levels have been changing visually run the process Nexus shots console command, which will make sure everything in the Nexus shots folder, all the Nexus shots, get processed into .texture files. Okay. Okay. That's great. Documentation. Which will cause all playable levels to be loaded, entities to be converted to binary, and textures to be processed into .texture files. Okay. That's good. So now we don't want to do this. We want to go to, we want to just put the, is screenshots in run tree? No. So that's there. So data, bitmaps, Nexus shots. I mean, we don't really have to make this folder because it's frickin' there. It's in source control, but whatever. So we just overwrite these, and then I will manually do the thing. Okay. Let's make a new release build. That'll take a sec. Yeah, those thumbnails are used in the overworld right now to know which level you're going to go into. Yeah. Yeah, we did that a long time ago. It's evolved a fair bit since then, but yes, we did that on stream. Stream. How did I think of the name Sokoban? Well, I imagined, what would I do if this game comes out and makes really a lot of money? And I said, I think I would like to move somewhere on the outskirts of Tokyo, like northwest Tokyo, where there's still, it's near the city, but there's lots of space. And then I'd like to get a warehouse there because I think Japan is going to expand again. It's going to get over its demographic crisis and start expanding again. And if you have a warehouse near the edge of Tokyo with all your successful video game riches, it could end up doing very well. And Sokoban is the Japanese name for a warehouse keeper. So it's just a way for me to remember constantly my ambitions in life and what I hope to do. Right? Everybody has to have plans and dreams, you know? Make a bunch of money and get into commercial real estate. Exactly. Please move the cursor off the screen. Okay. Have I player rat lab? I don't know what rat lab is. Lab rat. I also don't know what lab rat is. Okay. That is the Nexus shots. Why do we have a .build folder in Nexus shots? Let's delete that. It is not necessary. All right, so I'm first going to check this in for the people. Or actually, first let's scan, looking for broken level. Meta mirror same dir 5. I'll see if I can emergency fix this level. Okay. It actually looked fine. This is just something about, I don't know, something about the shaders not resetting in the first frame or whatever. We're going to have to fix that later. But I'm relieved to know it is not affecting the actual level. Block, suspend, 1, alt 1. Block, suspend, 1, alt 1. That is even not, I probably have to go into the editor to load that. Okay. This level is literally nothing. Endpoint suspend heterogeneous, probably also literally nothing. Yeah. Okay, so those levels, it looked really whack. 2 blocks. So that one is not. Fuck. Okay, so the deal is this level, for example, is not we're not going to worry about this quite yet. We need to run the orphaned levels check. So this level, okay, the fact that I can't go to this level 2 blocks means it's not an active level. It's saying it's unknown, which means it's not in any of the like level sets that are marked playable. However, from here, I can go there because there is like a file for it. It's just, there's like nothing in this file, right? like, this is, what? So why is there a level entry for it? Maybe it's something that Zach made that there's not check-in for. But like, or maybe I screwed up the loading code, right? With my new stuff. Let's take a look, because it looks like there's absolutely nothing there, and that is sus. Unable to open directory, data levels 2 blocks, data levels build platform v2. That data levels 2 blocks. 2 blocks. So, and build now build platform v2 I know is an old level. So if it's not here, okay, that one, it just doesn't have an underscore. So that's just typoed on here. Or wherever it is, it's in the level set. Wait, it's in there as V2. So where... How did we get the underscore oh, is this just really old? July 16, 20. Okay. Before I freak out about any of this, let's just delete all the old ones. I should have done that first. What am I even talking about? Date. We're sorting by date. And then everything that is not today gets literally deleted. Holy fuck, it's a lot. Wait, what? Did we miss some? How? Hold on. Oh, maybe if they already existed. If they already existed, we get the old timestamp. Is there a way in Windows? This is like the creation time. Can I like get, oh, date modified. There we go. There we go. Okay. Anything that was not modified literally today, there we go, is old. So if I check these, there should be, you know, like 700. How many are there? 623. Yeah, that's how many, pretty much how many doorways there are going to be on the overworld then. So here we're going to SVN delete these. Boom. All right. So now we still have some that are messed up, but okay, whatever. Let me do the next thing, which is to make this command. Well, except there's no level 2 block. Yeah, we're going to have to run the orphan thing. But first, I just want to process all of these because this is good enough for the playtest that we're doing. So I need to make this new command. What did I say it was called? This is a JavaScript promise, is when I promise what a console command is going to be called. Okay, we say visit we're just going to have this be files is an array of string. We're going to pass this, and we're going to call visitor. All right, what is visitor? We're just going to say if the extension is PNG, because okay, so we just do this. Very easy. Very easy. This is files pointer to array of string. Oh, wait. Sorry. Wrong. Files is pointer to array of string. Okay. Path extension. We lower the extension if it's PNG, blah. All right. Oh, and then actually, no, we don't even need to do this. Dummy is avoid the noid. We don't even need to do this. So if this, then we'll just say find texture catalog info short name. I'm not actually sure what we put in short name here, so we're going to find out. So I was going to return them and do stuff with them, but I was like, we just need to look them up in the texture catalog, which is going to fire off the thing. All right. Okay. Undeclared. Oh yeah, we don't need this. Oh, visit files in data bitmaps nexus shots visitor, another visitor, stay a while, stay forever. LabRat is a Sokoban game from Chump Squad, makers of China. Oh right. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I wasn't connecting things together. I have not played that yet, which is why I didn't know. I guess I wasn't sure that came out yet. Okay. Short name has the extension, unfortunately. Let's try this again. Because the way the catalogs work is they want to be like extension agnostic and stuff. Oh, I think I accidentally took out the print, but I think that's fine because I didn't see an error. So now if we look for any of these, so these would get processed into data PC. Yeah, so we see all these double underscores in here. Double underscore dot texture. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I think that is good. So now I'm going to check all this in, which is scary because we did some things that might break people. No, okay. Save and load binary entity files. Nexus shot. Oh. I should. Wait, why? Okay, this is more editor automatic bullshit. Okay, hold on. I did all those Nexus shots. I want to check those in separately because that's just a very clean thing. Update the Nexus shots. Boom. That's like separate from any code changes we are making. It's a big chunky amount of data. Try to do that in Git, bro. It says in the bottom left how many things you have selected. Oh, I knew that. I just forgot. I forgot. Did I not just say one of the reasons for using... Why do people even ask me about Git? Like, what? Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Okay, so that's useful, and then commit. Like all these fucking materialists, I don't know what those are, but I'm just gonna check them in, and if it causes a problem, fine. Just gonna review what I did. Yeah, binary save, obviously. Yeah, just making sure I didn't check in something we don't want. Okay, seems fine. Save and load binary entity files. Boom. Okay, now we're gonna go here. Okay, now we've learned our lesson that you just can't have anything open in Windows when you delete a folder. So, yeah, but let's build this again, and we're going to see what happens when we run this. And now it deletes all our files. rm-rf star. You know, I don't mean to get too annoyed when people ask me about Git, but people ask it all the time, and it's like, oh man. And the thing that bothers me about it is that, like, people just assume that you would never want to use anything else, and so it's weird to use something else. And in reality, Git is not that useful for a lot of things in the world. And like, I think it's that people don't know that bothers me, right? It's like that. It's like a herd mentality kind of thing, but that's not exactly. Oh, look, we cut the number of files more than in half by doing the binary entities. It's like, it's hard to put my finger on what bothers me about it exactly, but it's like people think they know something, and what they think they know is that nobody would ever want to use anything for source control besides Git. And that's like deeply wrong. But people think that's so obvious that it goes without saying or something. Like, I don't even know what it is. It's just really weird. I get asked, yes. Okay, well, this goes a lot faster with half the files. I sure hope we got the binary entities. Let's see. So this is in scripts for some reason. We'll probably put it somewhere new. Why is there a new Nexus shots here? Wait, what? Why? I think our X copy went horribly. Oh no, guys. It went horribly wrong. And it put files here instead of in Sokoban dist Sokoban run tree. Wait, they're also there. Wait, 8:21 p.m. So what are these? 6:03. Okay, I must have just messed them up this morning during this morning stream. Okay, we're not going to worry about it. Is the problem with binary assets on Git somehow fundamental, or is it something that Git developers somehow don't care about? I think it's both. I mean, let's pick an easier one. The user interface on Git is completely horrible and absurdly bad. And there's not really that much of a reason for that. Like, it could be way, way better than it is. It's just like people didn't do a good job at that. Which also makes it unusable in a team setting, right? Because most of the people on the team aren't programmers. The binary thing, like, you know, there is this n squared part of Git that doesn't exist in a client server system, right? And so that is definitely a thing. It seems pretty bad for things with large binary assets, but I haven't ever sat down to think hard about how I would solve that problem. So, like, I really don't know to what extent it's inherent and to what extent people just didn't do it. Git is good for pure source. I mean, I don't think so. I wouldn't use Git even for source because I just hate I hate things with complicated, obfuscated UIs where you can very easily wreck your source. Like, I just don't want that, right? Okay. I mean, we have all these things. So, oh, I was going to check here for the, oh, not here. Data, levels, 3D stones, all the entities. Aggro spiral, all the lights. Maybe these aren't real levels. A lot of these aren't real. Double beam with mirror, all that. Okay, so we're going to assume that this worked. And we're going to try running it. And I'm looking at a black screen for some reason. Okay. Well, it started up real fast. Asset loading times, animation 0, mesh is 0, level set 75. Unable to load file data user IDs. Yeah, we should copy that probably. Maybe. That shouldn't wreck us though. It loaded 93 entities. Okay. Let's remove the playtest thing for now, even though we really do want it there. That's this local.variables. Let's run the debug. Let's see if it. Okay, we really can't. Oh, no, we need that. We need that. Sorry, because that is also how we know that we're running kind of in a way that we don't expect the source assets. So that's why we got a lot more errors that time. Okay, so here we're like supposedly in a level, but I can't see anything. And the editor is disabled in playtest mode. Damn it. I might have to undisable that. It keeps copies of every version of every file ever checked into the repo and every computer it's checked out onto. Yeah, but like the thing is, your server in the subversion scenario needs to have that anyway, right? So like, if the server has to be able to store that much data, is it really that much of a leap to require anyone working on the project to be able to store that much data? Like the server, I mean, it's a server, but like it's kind of a regular PC. So I'm not really sure it's that much of a problem. Now it might cause performance problems depending on how it works, but maybe decide on Tortoise over something like Perforce or Plastic. We've just been using SVN for a really long time, and so I know it'll do what we need. Perforce, back in the day, a lot of game teams used Perforce, but they would pay a bunch of money for it, and then it would suck in various ways. It's maybe better now. Plastic, I don't even know. That's a newer thing that I never bothered with. Like basically, Subversion does what we need. So like if we see a reason to switch to something, we'll consider it. But, you know, Okay. The problem that I have now is that earlier today, or maybe even yesterday, I tried running one of these builds and I didn't get a totally black screen. I got like levels. So I've kind of taken a step down here. So I'm pretty sure it said that in Heroes 1.1 we loaded a bunch of entities. Although that said, there should be like hundreds of entities there. So I don't. So the oh. What? The all.entities for Heroes 1.1 is tiny. Okay, I definitely broke something. Oh shit. Lol. Okay. I think playtest mode is destroying its own entities files because it's loading the text files, not finding any, and then saving that over. You know what I'm saying? So if I go to like Heroes 1.2 and I look for all.entities, it's 115K, all right? But I'm going to go make sure I'm on Heroes 1.1. Okay, now I'm going to hit right bracket to go to Heroes 1.2, and it's going to toast this file. I can't tell when I'm there. Okay, we're interactive. Yeah, see, it's toasted because I didn't do it right. Okay, so we have to go here and say... if running the playtest build, if running the export, let's say exported. See, the thing is, the team might be running with dash playtest. So we're going to make a different variable that we set. If running the exported build, the entities are only in binary. We don't want to try to load text entities. Okay. So this means we couldn't really load the editor from there unless I change the executable a bit. Okay. I feel like I'm going to regret this later and enable a path here, but we'll see. If running the exported build, the entities are only in binary, we don't want to try to load text entities. Okay, so if startup variables dot entities, binary entities only, else we do all this stuff. If binary entities only, then we just do that. Okay. I mean, that's sort of the same as require source assets. So why don't I just do that? Startup variables dot require source assets, not. Okay, let me make sure I didn't break the regular build. Okay. Now, I gotta, so the binary that we exported is now old. So we can copy the new one, 8:35 p.m. Copy that over 8:15 p.m. Replace. Now we'll run. And Heroes 1.1 and Heroes 1.2 are still going to be messed up. But hopefully... Okay, hold on. I just want to check the... Did I leave this file? Local.variables. And does it require source assets? False. Okay. So I should be able to see a level if I hit right bracket. Maybe twice, because I don't know which level I was on. Yeah, okay. So we're back in the levels that actually exist. This is good. I'm playing the game with the exported data. It looks like a video game. It's got Snakebird. Now I can put it on Steam Greenlight. Okay. So this sure seems like we are now able to export a playable version of the game. Is it playing sound? Yes. I can hear it now by putting on the headphones. So that's where the thumbnails come in. Oh, the particles are not happening. That's making me sad. Okay, we have to fix this. No such particle group. Why does it say unable to load level Heroes 1.15? No such particle group. Oh, okay. Because one of the first levels we loaded was in-game particles while we still had the bug and we haven't re-exported all the data. So if I go to levels, in-game particles, its all.entities is 2 KB because it's squished, right? But if I go to data, levels, in-game particles, and get this all dot, where is it? Date modified, all.entities, there we go. And I paste that over, And then I rerun the game. Boom! We got particles. So frame rate is pretty low here. It's not too surprising. I just wonder, I don't know what Mark is going to playtest on. I don't feel like he has a big, beefy FPS gamer PC, you know? Are there also some outgame particles? Well, the sun, for example, has a lot of particles in it, and they're not in the video game. Think about it. Think about it. Well, I mean, I would have been happy if I got to this point by the end of the weekend. But here we are. I basically could hand this off to Mark now. Let's see how much it shrunk. I think we were like 8 gigs or whatever last time I looked, right? Those of you who were on yesterday's stream. Oh no, it must have been bigger than that. Okay, well, we're 14 gigs now. So the entity files, I think we saved some space on the entity files, but, oh, you know what? Actually, we might have been at 8 gigs, but I certainly added a bunch of bitmaps and stuff that were not there. Like all the light maps we weren't exporting, and etc. Anyway, let's zip it again. Just regular zip, because the 7-zip was taking 27 hours. Still going on the zipperoonie. Total size 14 gigabytes. Remember that column Gigglebytes by Dave Barry or whoever? Okay. Oh, actually, yeah, okay, we're at 7.6 gigabytes output. That must have been what I was remembering, was the zip size. LZ4, 740 megabytes per second. Well, I didn't do that, did I? Well, that's a pretty good milestone for tonight. Let me... Oh, that was the debug build, guys. Remember how I was saying, oh, the frame rate is chunky? It was the debug build. We've just got to figure out what Chunky's deal is. We've just got to figure out what Chunky's deal is. So we could try it in a release build in a second. I just wanted to go to these levels because they look like they were rendering wrong. Actually, I mean, they're a little washed out and weird, but they're playable. Okay, great. Actually, we license Oodle, so I could package this with Oodle. Yeah, so it's the fog fade in on this level doesn't like the background because it's at infinity or whatever. Those are going the wrong way anyway. We're still going up and down. Anyway. Anywho. Can't edit it right here anyway. How large is the team? Seems like 20 million people sometimes. Okay. How large is the Tortoise repository on disk? I don't know. And I don't log into the server very often. So for all I know, we're going to run out of disk space tomorrow and everyone will have a disaster. I will need a bigger warehouse. Well, guys, I mean, this is, is a little bit of a rewarding evening because I could just hand this 8 gigabyte file off to Mark tomorrow. I would repack it just to make sure we replace any of the destroyed entity files and stuff. Let's make a new release build. Let's put in there. We run our own servers. Okay, so let us um 8:51 p.m. Replace the file in the destination. Let's go to the overworld. Okay, it's a little smoother. It's still a little choppy, but like not nearly as bad as it was. I feel okay with this for now. It's all good. That's maybe a little bit of a spoiler that I can see that over there. You might want to block that. I think we want to keep people hemmed in here. I gotta go plug my phone in and make some tea. Oh, let's do a tea poll. So we ran a tea poll yesterday, not to be confused with a T-Pain. And the winning tea was the Earl Grey cream. The fact that that T1 takes it out of the running for tonight's poll, which now has 3. It's like a reverse battle royale. Oops. Okay. Run a poll. The options are as follows. And you will have 3 minutes like last time. So that's more time per choice if you think about it, because it was 3 minutes for 4 choices last time. Boom. I'm going to peek at the results. This tea is from Jewel. Kaylee from Firefly is not the same person as Jewel. I know they maybe have a little bit of similarities. Oh, you mean... Okay, never mind. I thought you meant... I thought you meant Singer Jewel for some reason, even though that doesn't make any sense given the context. Let me see. I'm peeking. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, I see what you guys are laying down. You still have like a minute. I am still in San Francisco for like I'm probably moving 12 days from now, although if I'm going to do that, I should call it some movers. I maybe should not show the votes till the end. The movers are booked out a few years by now. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if I just have to go back over there with a couple suitcases, that's fine. I'll just start my life and I'll schedule movers for later and come back over here and move my stuff. That's fine. All right. I think now people are trying to, I see what's happening is people are trying to tie the poll up at the last second. But I'm on to you. And you didn't even succeed this time anyway. So we're going to do this one. Winter Wonderland Rooibos wants 212-degree water, so I will heat that. Okay, well, you know, let me run that orphaned level command, but I don't want to run it in the playtest. Level info. Oh, that's sort of the wrong thing. Level entry check. Wait, what? Okay, so these that are being reported here has a level entry but is not in a set. Those are bad. Why is the water not? I somehow failed to push the start button. Please. If you want to succeed in the games industry, push the Whopper button. Doorstop, reprise. Easy situation. That's one of mine, right? Is that what it's called? Level entry check. The level entry check command was complaining about these levels, so I am putting them here if we want to get rid of them. Let's remove the overworld entries. Easy situation. Cornering. 2 blocks. Oh, cornering is not currently playable. So that's actually broken. And then 2 blocks. Is this still empty? Okay. Okay, so actually maybe it's just intended that easy situation. You know what? I'm going to assume that all these are supposed to be broken. Let me do some TiVo. Okay, guys, I don't know how this is gonna go. It smells very strongly like vanilla flavoring. Oh man. You're actually designing a compiler yourself and having problems with the lexing parsing part. To use recursive descent or any other strategies for parsing a token tree. I use regular code, which is what compiler books call recursive descent. It is just regular, obvious code that you would use to solve the problem. Like all this shift reducer parser stuff is just bullshit. Don't bother with any of that shit. It's just a waste of your time, really. What is the purpose of building a compiler? Because that's how programming languages work. If nobody does it, you don't have any programming languages, and then you would have to program your computer by flipping switches on the front. Which you could do. I mean, if you like to program your computer by flipping switches on the front, that's okay. Like, I don't like that as the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Pratt part, let me link that. What is this? Oh God. No, don't bother with any of this bullshit. I don't know. Actually, it might be fine. I don't actually know. I don't know what the binding power is. It looks like their version of precedence, right? Of operator precedence. But I think Pratt parser is something the functional language people like, and so I can't recommend it. Because almost everything... Okay, so... Oh, wait. Binding power is a thing that this dude made up. Think in terms of binding power more intuitive. That's what precedence is. That you just said what precedence is, but you named it something different. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Took a grad level class on compilers and 40% was the LRK nonsense. Yeah, I mean, it's not just me that doesn't bother with any of that at all. Like most modern programming languages do not bother with any of that stuff at all. It's just, it's not the interesting or hard part of making a compiler, and it's not a good way to do the easy part of making a compiler. Time steep. So the T timer needs to tell me how long it counted down because I don't know if I trust it in this case. I don't know how long it's been counting for. I don't know if I agree. A lot of Dragon Book is for parsing grammars that are impossible to parse using recursive descent. I don't think nothing is impossible to parse using recursive descent. Like it's just code. It's Turing complete, right? Maybe using like some strawman version of recursive descent. I mean, if anything, I would say LRK is much more restrictive than recursive descent. I would say it's a situation that's more like in the early days of computers, this seemed like a big and interesting idea because computers were much less powerful. We hadn't done as much with them. And like this stuff just got formalized. It got developed academically. And because it got developed academically, it's what got taught. But it's just not very useful, right? Recursive descent is only for LR1. No, that's bullshit. You can peek ahead as many tokens as you want anytime you want. I do it all the time. Actually, I think the furthest I ever peek is 2, but you know, like if you're going to define recursive descent as something that can only look at 1 token, then like, okay, then I'm not doing recursive descent. So what? Okay, this T, this is going to be the only time that I make this T. It is not like mega gross, but it's kind of gross and I just don't want it. So we're going to pour it out. Let me give you the audio of me pouring the tea into the paper compost bag. 1 second. That is, by the way, one way that's very effective to whittle down your tea runner's supply is to just pour out the ones that you don't like. How do you parse procedures? When do you find out that it's a procedure? Okay, that one is a little bit, that's like one of the most tenuous things. When we see an open paren, what we do is we look inside the open paren to see if the thing inside it is a declaration, and declarations always go, well, if they're procedure scope, they always go identifier and then colon, right? Now, you can't have a colon in this language at expression scope because declarations are not expressions, they're statements, right? And so we basically look ahead 2 tokens to see if we see a colon. And that's one of the things where the syntax, you might say, why don't you make it like Go and not have colons or something? And it's like, well, right now it just makes some things easier to have colons, right? Later we might change that. Like if we waited till we saw the arrow, that would be a long time, right? Yeah. When we see an open paren, we peek 2 tokens. If there's a colon, it's probably a procedure. Wait until I try mistletoe. Yeah, well, that's not going to happen. We did our adventure tea for tonight, and I'm going to pour it out now. I tried it. What if you have a procedure without parameters? In that case, we see the arrow, right? Because it's open paren, close paren, and well, okay. We see arrow or open brace, right? Let me go look at what my code says for this, by the way, because we can just go look at this. So there's a function called can be a lambda. Whoops, wrong project. Come on. I'll get it eventually. Can be, oh, that's a variable. Can be lambda. Okay, so actually, there's a number of tokens that we check, right? If we see any of those, it's a procedure probably. If we see a close paren, now this is, so we have two tokens, right? We have token is like the one ahead, and then far token is two ahead. It says peak token 1, but that's like 1 in advance of the current token, right? So if it's these, if it's a close paren, so that's, we see open paren, close paren, right? We actually also have quick lambda, right? So if we see this, this is token quick lambda, this thick arrow, THICC, then we know it's that, right? Otherwise, so can be lambda here, I think means it's definitely a lambda, because otherwise we parse an expression. So this is a little bit of a misleading variable name. This is like, it's definitely a procedure. So basically, if you see open paren, close paren, actually, okay, open paren, close paren is not a valid expression, right? This isn't Lisp. That doesn't mean nil. So if you write that, it's we know it's a procedure of some kind. So it's either a 0 parameter quick lambda, or it's a 0 parameter regular procedure. What if far token doesn't exist? So if we peek beyond the end, the Lexer gives us an EOF token back. There's just a special token for that. And then none of these will succeed, and we'll probably end up giving a parse error, just like unexpected token EOF. How was the first compiler created? By flipping switches on the front of the computer. Actually, probably on punch cards. Punch cards. Punch cards. Anyway, so the parser is literally just regular code like this. This is just what it is. The whole thing is. It's very, like, beginner programmers can understand it. It's not some gnarly complex system. The only real formalization to understand is that there's this thing called tokens, right? And then you parse those into a tree. Tokens are not that hard to learn about, right? That's like one class, like a 1 hour class. And then, trees, hopefully, and that's really all it is. And, even I don't worry that much about the code quality in the parser, even because it's like first of all, it's not that hard of a problem. And then secondly, we're probably going to rewrite it eventually. How big is it? 5,000 lines. And that includes a lot of the new ASM stuff, which I guess is quite big. I had no idea it was that big. Oh, but then we're done with ASM stuff and we're doing statements and whatever. What's my go-to tea? Most of the time it's Hardy and Sons Hot Cinnamon Spice, but I also got this Golden Monkey tea from China that I really like lately. I'm digging it. No, just the parser file is 5,000 lines. The Lexer is not in this file. The Lexer is 2,000 lines. And that doesn't include the header files because it's C++. And the Lexer, that 2,000 lines for the Lexer also includes the error reporting, right? Or a big part of the error reporting. That's what this is, what goes through files and highlights the error and stuff. But yeah, Lexers. So the thing that's cool about compilers is, to some extent, you can approach them in a modular way. Like, if it seems intimidating to try and do a compiler, you can just do a Lexer and do a print statement for each token or whatever. And then you have a fully functioning thing. It doesn't like build a program, right? But it like processes your text input into a more structured sequence that you then can see what you would do with next, right? And so Lexers are really easy to write. Again, don't use Lex or Yak or any of that bullshit. Like Flex. Don't use any of that. Just write a Lexer. It's very easy. And it'll be faster and easier to understand. And it'll give better error messages in cases where that's applicable. Can I quickly go over how I build my... It's just... the compiler is just a Visual Studio project. Should send me some really good tea from Hong Kong. How am I for oolong? I really like oolong. However, since I'm about to move, this would not be the right time to send me a tea. But if you wanted to, say 2 weeks from now, or even 1 week from now, moving to Florida. Taking a compiler course, but they're kind of going to the BS I talk about. Yeah, most compiler courses are not good. You have to understand this. And the reason is because they're all based after, like, I mean, originally they basically all taught the Dragon book because it was the only book. And that sort of became the standard for what a compiler class was, right? And, these days people deviate from that standard somewhat, but like it just got set that that's what your compiler class was. What uses C++ in the compiler? The whole compiler is C++. I don't like San Francisco. San Francisco is terrible. And I've been wanting to leave for almost 2 years, and I just couldn't find anywhere that I knew would be good. And I also had hopes that San Francisco would pick back up and be fun, and it was a little bit. And then, Delta variant showed up, and all the fun things shut down again, and now it's even worse. So I'm like, fuck this. Just this place is offensive. How big is the runtime? I can show you our runtime right now. It consists of the following two files. There's this file called preload. It is 400 lines, and it's mostly struct declarations. So this doesn't even have code, right? These struct declarations don't really take up runtime size, except in type info data. Actually, there's literally no live code in this file. And then there's runtime support, which is like the actual code that runs. And this is also 400 lines. So our runtime is about 1,000 lines of code if you count new lines and comments. That said, to be fair, we do still have a couple of dependencies on the C runtime that we haven't got rid of, so that adds a little bit. I mean, it probably adds a lot because it's a C runtime, right? So we need to get rid of that. We've gotten rid of most of that. It just, there's still a little bit left. And a lot of things that people consider to be part of their runtime, we don't. So like, we don't actually ship a malloc in our so-called runtime, right? We give one in the standard library, but you could swap it out with a different one if you want or whatever. And actually right now, that's one of the CRT dependencies. I think we have two. We have that, and we have like maybe float parsing, although I thought we replaced that. But the deal is we're gonna swap in MI malloc, which is a small number of lines of code, and we just have to port it, and then that'll be our standard allocator, and it'll be good. Will type info work across DLLs? I just haven't thought about it very much. The answer probably is it'll go badly if you try to assume that your DLL and executable coordinate. So I would like to figure out, is there a good thing to do there? If you mean if I have a library that ships as a DLL, can I get type info of that? And the answer is, if you can talk about the types in the DLL, you must have bindings for it, and you get type info from those bindings, right? The thing that's different is the DLL right now has its own type table that's different from the main program's type table. And so some things that you can normally have as a guarantee don't hold across DLLs. So like right now, if you have construct the same type in your program, like pointer to string or something, that is the same entry in the type table every time. So if you take type info of that, it's guaranteed to be pointer identical every time. But actually right now, if you have a DLL that makes a pointer to string and your main program does, they're going to be different pointers. Very little code depends on stuff like that. I don't think most of the beta users even understand that that's a thing that they could think about. So in reality, it hasn't been a problem yet. somehow managing to make a 3.8 gig hello world is impressive, though. Yeah, our hello world, let's see. Main, right string, hello, sailor. See, sailor is one character longer than world. And I'm putting the exclamation point and a comma. So we're doing way more work than the minimum viable hello world, right? But this is going to have the C runtime in it still. So it's not, whoops. Why is Windows taking a long time to cd ... Wait, I'm in the wrong folder. Okay. So that's 50K. And again, I think that's mostly C. If we do the LLVM backend, let's see. 41K. So we'll get that down further, I think, by a lot, because we really do not ship much code. Is it simply experience and understanding of how stuff works that allows you to see the Dragon Book and go to a different, better direction? Yes. I mean, I was taught the Dragon Book in college like anyone else. However, I did kind of start doing programming language stuff before officially taking the class. So I had hands-on experience with it. And I don't know, like I did a lot of programming languages in college, and I think even in college, I had shifted to writing my own lexers. I think I still used Yak most of the time for the parsing grammar stuff, but for lexers, I just didn't like this thing about writing some regular expressions, and then it didn't seem worth it to me. And I liked it better doing my own code for the lexer. And then I don't remember when I switched off using Yak for parsers. It might have been in college. It might have been after. Couldn't tell you for sure. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to working on this. So I wanted to fix these things. Cornering is broken. 2 blocks is not even a level. Block suspend 1 alt 1. I don't know. All right. Whoops. Okay, cornering currently broken. 2 blocks. Whoops, sorry. I wanted who strings 2 blocks. So that's not even in levels. All right, is that what we're saying? I thought we saw the level. No, literally, it's not even a thing. Like maybe that's just something Zach didn't check in. I don't know. Okay. So in unplaced levels, okay, so block, suspend, 1, alt, 1. This also looks frickin' broken. Why are all these levels frickin' broken? Block, suspend, 1. Block, suspend, 1, alt, 1. Yeah, that's like not even a thing. Currently broken. These are marked broken, commented out in unplaced levels, commented out their entries in unplaced levels. Okay. Endpoint suspend heterogeneous. That's one of mine. I think this one, and then point suspend heterogeneous 2. That's, oh no, what? Endpoint. Yeah, there's literally, okay, hold on. Wait. Why didn't I see point suspend heterogeneous? Point. Oh, there it is. I just missed it. I just missed it. Okay, great. Great. Okay, let's play this level that I made a long time ago and see if we can remember how to solve it. So we're going to want to do this ting-tangler, right? So that gives us endpoint beams. Let's get our view on. So we need to block the beams with, okay, so I need to use this, push this bro down, and then there, right? And then, woo. Okay, that's That's not a good thing that I need to fix. Oh, when I get roasted. How do I solve this without getting roasted? So, okay. Okay, so how do I not get roasted? It doesn't help that that thing is drawing where it is not. Oh, wait. What am I talking about? Okay, we need to figure out what's going on with that shadow thing as well. So I actually don't know what I... Okay, well, I push this here and then I drop it. Never mind that it's in the wrong place, everybody. And then I go, and then I go. Okay. Let's, so this is failing, so we're just gonna record this. No. Gonna go there. We're gonna go there. And we're gonna go tinga-tanga. Bangalanga. And then okay. One less fail. Is it automatically a timed recording falling objects? Okay, well, the secret of this video game is that falling timing only matters beyond the first square. Like the first, like if you just push a block and then it falls one square, that like has to be synchronized to the rest of the actions in order for basic puzzle gameplay to work. Because, you know, like if you tap right twice to go 2 moves and the first move pushes the thing into the water, then you want the second move to step on it, right? You don't want to like be able to race the falling of the thing and do stuff before it falls. Have we used AI testing for the levels? No. I'm glad you liked Indie Game the movie. What is that thing I pushed in a monkey? Yes, that is Davy Jones, member of the Monkees. All right, so commit, tweak some levels in overworld and unplaced levels. Don't. You're fired, whoever wrote this program. And what did I do in save? Oh, yeah, very important. Don't Try to load entity text in exported build. And fix a level test. Okay. Yeah, I have that locked test written down as a thing I've got to fix too. I think tomorrow I'm just going to spend hunting down some of these problems, figure out what's going on. I think I'm done programming for tonight. Because this stream is 3 hours now, and as you've heard on Hacker News, programmers cannot possibly work more than 2 hours a day. Two seems a bit high. Well, yeah. Yeah, like I think if you try to concentrate for longer than 30 seconds, the eye cannot see that many FPS, so it just doesn't work. Al Gore invented the eye. I think he did. All right, everybody. I think it's time for me to sign off. Thanks for hanging out. We did good stuff tonight. We've got binary entities now, files. Binary. We've got files with bytes in them now that we didn't have before, and that was pretty good. And yeah, thanks everybody. I'll see you later on.